Yeah, let's get into it. Independence Day, Resurgence, directed by Roland Emmerich, who also directed the first one. I just saw it tonight, saw it, I guess, it's opening weekend, saw it, the very first night, the very first showing that was available. I wanted to go see this movie. I had kind of high hopes for it, because to be honest, the original one that came back out in 1996, even though it wasn't like a great movie, it was still fun. I was young enough, I think, to enjoy it, and it was kind of that 90s age of like big blockbuster hits. It had Will Smith, it had all the fun stuff, Welcome to Earth, he punches the alien in the face, all those cool special effects. It was a good time. So it's kind of like, it's not going to be a good movie, most likely, like most sequels or reboots, but hey, I'm going to give it a shot. It'll be fun. I just want to kind of check it out. It was bad. It was really bad. But rather than just sit here and tell you that it was bad, I want to go through some things that actually stood out to me as to why it was so bad. For one, they just, everything was so hurried. They hurried everything along. The character development, the story. I just was sitting there and I couldn't believe, wait, this is happening? We're already in the middle of the full-fledged alien attack? I don't care about any of these people. That was probably my biggest thing, is that none of the characters at all, not a single one, not even ones they brought back from the first movie, you could give two craps about them. If and when they died, I didn't care. Why should I care? There's no backstory to anybody. It was so bad. And then, on top of that, the tone of the movie was so back and forth. They kept juxtifying, they kept trying to go back and forth between, this is a serious alien invasion movie, and this is a schlocky comedy invasion movie. The first one, I think, maybe by mistake, by the way this one was made, kind of played that a lot better. You actually had those moments with Bill Pullman giving the speech, "We will not go silently into the night," and you're like, yeah, America. But this one, you're like, ew, they tried to throw jokes in right after they show millions of people dying, and you're like, that didn't fit at all. That wasn't good. None of the jokes landed. There was times where, maybe it was because I saw it in IMAX 3D, which wasn't my choice because that's the only thing that was showing. Maybe it was because it was IMAX, but there was moments where the sound was so loud I couldn't hear characters' dialogue, and it wasn't intentional. They were delivering dialogue and they would say a joke, and I'm there what? What was that? I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it at all. And it was just really, really bad. I actually found myself laughing out loud at certain parts of the movie that weren't meant to be funny. If the movie had gone full schlock, just full, self-aware that it's a stupid premise, it would have been a really good movie. It's just a shame that they didn't ride that enough. They tried to do it, but the parts where they tried to do that didn't land, the comedy didn't land, and then the unintentional humor was really funny. I think, my personal opinion is that 15, 30 years from now, people are going to look back at this movie the way we look back at movies from the 80s. I think that people are going to look back at a lot of reboots that are happening and kind of view them as that. 30 years from now, there's going to be a group of people where people are going to watch this with the same way that we on B-Movie Battles watch those bad movies and make fun of them and find them hilarious. You can tell they had a lot of money. They put a lot of time and money into this movie. Aside from being totally a mess, things just happened in such rapid succession. And they would cut to these scenes that had no prior setup. They would just, boom, cut to people on a boat. And you're like, wait, who are these people? This is 45 minutes into the movie, they cut to a completely new set of characters and quickly set up who they are and what they're meant to do. Then from there, boom, they cut to another group of characters that you have no idea who they are, and they quickly set up. If they could have eliminated, no joke, 4 of the B subplots, maybe they could have had a more coherent main storyline. But there was so many characters and so many people that you had to, so many people's storylines and B-plots that there was no cohesion to the whole movie. You didn't get to feel for anybody because you had no time with any of these characters. So why would I care? I cared as much about the main character. I guess he was the main character. He had the same amount of screen time as the B-plot dad. Jeff Goldblum's dad probably had about the same amount of screen time as 2 or 3 of the main characters. And that's bad. That's really bad. And on top of that, the dialogue. Oh gosh, the dialogue was bad. And the lines where you should have had like those like awesome one-liners, it's like they didn't even put any effort into it. The guy that they got to play Will Smith's son, who took over as the Will Smith of the movie, no charisma, like none, like zero charisma. He was delivering these lines when he's like flying around, and they're just so flat. I don't know, guys. It's not good. Like, it wasn't good. I laughed out loud. When I was walking out of the theater, I was laughing because it was really, really bad. And, like, other people in the theater, like, these middle-aged women were like, that was amazing! And they, like, thought it was, like, awesome. I guess if you're really into just, like, fast, loud things exploding and just destruction of the planet, cool. I mean, if you just want to zone out and not have any kind of story and really bad dialogue, I guess it's cool.
Go back now and go over what you think, emphasize what you think was the best part. Yeah, the effects were cool, blah, 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 but then you went and bashed it anyway.
Yeah. On the positives, while there were kind of few, there actually were there was a few shots in the movie where I was like, oh, that's a really cool shot. Like, at least it was filmed cinematically. Like, there are some really impressive shots where the alien spaceship is coming into the Earth's atmosphere, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. Or some of the visual effects look neat. Sadly, there wasn't a lot of practical effects. I thought Jeff Goldblum was fun. I enjoyed Jeff Goldblum, even though his character didn't make a lot of sense. You could tell he was still giving it his all, so he did a good job. Not to spoil anything, but I was kind of happy around halfway point of the movie. Well, I'll just go into it. Pretty much the first half of this movie is the first Independence Day redone, which was kind of annoying, but then I understood why they did it. They pretty much just rammed through everything you saw in the first movie, so that way they could have the twist on this movie. So I was glad that at least they tried to do something different, even if the different things they did didn't make any sense. At least they tried something different.
If you were Will Smith, what would you think of this movie tonight?
If I was Will Smith and I sat down to watch this movie, I would be like, thank God I passed on this movie because this is bad. I would be like, whew, probably one of the best decisions of my career not to go back to this movie.
Well, what options would you give your viewers? Should they watch it in the theaters, wait till Redbox, or never watch it at all?
It's definitely one to watch on Redbox. Pay $1 or $2 and watch it and laugh at it and whatever. Like, enjoy it in the privacy of your own home. You don't need to see it in theaters because it's not that great. As far as I wouldn't say never see it at all because it is funny. Like, if I would watch this movie again, I'd probably laugh even harder. I think I was just trying to my brain was trying to make sense of the movie, which kept me from enjoying it fully as a bad movie because I was just sitting there like, yeah, just wait till it comes out on Redbox. That's my review of Independence Day Resurgence. Check out my other videos. I'm still working hard on the next B-movie battles, so hopefully that'll be out soon. Give me a like or a comment or subscribe. Tell me what movies you want me to review. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. All right, have a good one. So after the movie was over, they were giving out these awesome posters, so now I have an awesome poster to remember the terrible movie.